some pretty intense thunderstorm activity yesterday afternoon along
brutal.
the coast. It was rough stuff.
And they expect that again today?
Today, yep. We're looking forward again today. So just be advised, especially if you're out on the water today, because they say these storms will pass out offshore. And if you're out in the water, say 5, 6 o'clock this afternoon, you could get hammered.
And some severe lightning involved in
Absolutely.
that, too.
Just be careful. Looking at 78 now at WEZL, and while we get up and have coffee and think about those grilled chicken sandwiches from McDonald's this morning, our boys are in harm's way. U.S. Marines and Afghan troops battling to take control of a Taliban-held town in southern Afghanistan. Fight continues this morning. Operation about a week ahead of Afghan's presidential elections. Taliban vowing to keep that vote from happening. They're attacking these cities, trying to make people afraid to come out and vote. The Marines and the Afghan soldiers, backed up by U.S. helicopters, doing everything they can to ensure these people that they will be safe and they should vote next week. It's ugly over there. President Obama urging support for his health care plan, telling the town hall meeting in New Hampshire yesterday not to listen to those who seek to scare and mislead the American people. His words. Meanwhile, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce will begin to air TV ads in 20 states today criticizing the Democratic proposal to offer optional government health coverage. It apparently stayed fairly quiet at the president's conference yesterday.
Yeah, that seemed pretty scripted to me.
That was fairly quiet. The protests were kept outside, and they said they had about 200 people doing the yelling and screaming against it, and about 200 people yelling and screaming for it. So they just kind of yelled at each other, and they had the meeting inside.
Then left there and all went to a Hooters.
Apparently. Got some legs. Chicken legs.
Chicken legs.
Yeah. The recession may be tapering off, but that doesn't mean employees who cut jobs in the last year are ready to start hiring people back. Small Business Survey says owners need to see several months of rising sales before they start putting people back to work. Bernard Madoff's right-hand man, Frank DiPasquale.
That sounded right.
Frank DiPasquale. DiPasquale is the way I think you say that.
You need to watch more Sopranos.
Right-hand man. He was the boss. He was the guy who was there from the beginning. Turned out he didn't have one lick of accounting, one lick of financial training, no college degree, nothing. But he said, I knew how to stay undercover, under the radar of the law. And Bernie put me to work, and I kept him off the radar.
That was his consigliere.
Is he?
His consigliere.
No,
That's
it was
what they call it on The Sopranos.
DiPasquale was his last name.
No.
Frank DiPasquale. I think that guy you're talking about.
No, that's not his last name. That's your go-to guy. That's your trusted for your consigliere.
So Gary's my consigliere?
I guess. I'm not your trusted friend?
Well, there was a time.
Oh, that's hurtful.
By the way, they thought this guy, Frank, he came in and told them everything. He just let it out. And they thought, with him telling everybody everything, that they'd give him a break on sentencing and stuff, let him go home and stay and that kind of. Judge said, no, you know what? This guy's looking at 125 years in prison. He says he's a criminal. We better just go ahead and lock him up.
Well, good.
So they went ahead and put him in jail yesterday. He didn't go home.
So he didn't cut a deal ahead of time.
No, he just thought that they would take it easy and let him go home.
Oh, that wasn't wise.
That's
he should
not
have cut
smart.
the deal.
Governor Sanford justifying his use of state aircraft for personal trips and taking business class and first class flights on the taxpayer dime yesterday. When pressed, the governor says, look, just like we said yesterday, previous governors have done this. Why me?
Yeah.
State law requires that any state plane be used only for official business, but nobody's paid any attention to that in the past, so governor didn't figure he had to either.
And one of them was like he had gone to Myrtle Beach to get a haircut. He had flown the private plane to Myrtle Beach to get a haircut.
Mm-hmm.
But he actually had other state business in Myrtle Beach, and he went over to a Great Clips or a Supercuts, one of those. He goes,
it's not like he did a Bill Clinton $400 haircut on the tarmac thing.
So he said, why would I, honestly, get in a plane where I can go to any Great Clips or Supercuts
in Columbia,
yeah, get an $11 haircut? Why? Honestly, why would I do that?
That make sense to me.
Yeah. He said, I've done some wrong, and most of it's been in my personal life, but this stuff's being blown out of proportion.
Well, there are people who are asking for impeachment hearings and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the people involved in all that are people who are running for his office, for his seat when he comes out of office.
And I don't have a problem with him taking a state plane to go watch a kid's ball game.
At least he cared enough to go watch the kid's ball game.
Yeah, it's the other things he did that have disappointed me.
Yeah.
It's not going to see a kid's ball game.
In sports, Louisville men's basketball coach Rick Pitino has said, yes, I had sex with that woman, and I paid for the abortion. But she's trying to get $10 million out of me, so I'm going to tell you up front what happened. He said it happened in 2003, and she has been arrested.
Well, good.
For extortion, yeah. Four-time NASCAR champ Jeff Gordon says he's dealing with a bad back, stiff back after that big wreck Monday at Watkins Glen, but he says he'll be able to race this weekend in Michigan. In Atlanta, rookie pitcher Tommy Hanson struck out 9, didn't walk anybody in 6 2/3, led the Braves to an 8-1 win over the Washington Nationals. Braves actually now within 4.5 games of the lead in the NL East. That's why Gary's taking the week off.
I wonder if he's going to catch a ball game.
It'd be nice if he could, but I don't think Darlene will let him go out of town by himself.
You don't think?
No, she's working. I think they're taking off Friday, but I don't think she's going to let him go to Atlanta by himself.
I hear you.
Maybe I ought to go with him.
You ought to. We'll do a best of, and
he could leave now, and I could fly over and meet him because you know me.
Yeah, you travel alone.
Charleston River Dogs scored all 5 in the 5th, went on to club the Delmarva Shorebirds 5-1 Sally League action last night at the Joe. Game 3 of that series starts tonight at 7:05.
Now, WEZL Time Saver Traffic from the Gerald's Tire